Hi everybody, it's Bonkai922. Fairy Tale episode 144. This episode was like, oh my god. Let's go into the events that transpired. Okay, beginning we got soldiers coming in trying to look for a celestial wizard because they're going to get the celestial wizards out there because they're being targeted. Now, I'll go to my usual wrap of what happened. I'll stay away from the Natsu situation and just focus on what else happened. We get this thing with Gildarts and I forgot that little girl's name. The one who does wood make magic. They find out that Michelle is not real. Her name's not Michelle. She's an imposter. That is what is found out. And basically basically that's what's found out. Now, they try calling Natsu and the others, and it's to no avail because Elfman is knocked out. Moving right along, what also is found out is the situation with Wendy's group. I'm going to go with that first, and then I'll tell you what happened to the other groups. Wendy's group, Wendy and Big Slow, find out that they're asking him questions, asking Aragorn, and he tells them that he was manipulated, that he was dreaming of a nightmare. So somebody was actually controlling his dreams. And that's what caused him to carry on this Grim Reaper persona. So someone really high was pulling the strings with this dream control magic. And at the same time, while they're investigating this, and Aragorn says thank you to Wendy for knocking some sense in his head and bringing him back to reality. Kana finds out that she was being manipulated as well. So I just wanted to bring that up first because that is a real shocker. There were a lot of shockers in this episode, especially the ending. So that's what happened there. So we got that situation. And they were being manipulated and so on and so forth. Then we got Gagio's group. I'll go with Gagio's group next. Gagio and Juvia are fighting Gatterman. Meet the Flintstones. Wait, this isn't the Flintstones? You know why? Because he didn't get picked for the Flintstones because he's that bad. I'm sorry, I had to do that. There are too many weird. Number two weird characters in this filler is Gatterman and the Bear. Tell you what's the story with that bear later. Okay, so they end up fighting him, and Juvia uses her water magic. She's actually puts him in a ball of water and holds him down. And even though he's using the rupture magic on her, it's not working on her. It's actually backfiring on him too. And that's when Gagio gets the cue to jump up and use. He uses iron sword. I think he's got like 2 or 3 iron swords. This iron sword is really fucking huge. That demon iron sword thing. Tits him on. Hits, got him in, and slaps down on the ground. And Hughes is like, oh, I can't believe they defeated Gatterman. She couldn't believe it. Like, it was unbelievable. So we had that situation. And the only other fights that was going on, the only real fights that were really going on that meant anything, really meant something important, was Angel against Gray and Freed, Urza against Cobra, Urza against Cobra, and Midnight. So let's do with Gray, what his situation was. They were getting annihilated. That's pretty much it. It wasn't even a contest. It was really bad for them. And it was just terrible. So what ends up happening is she uses, and every one of them has this red sword that looks like a crystal to use to kill or to stab the Celestial Wizard. And they used it to stab the Celestial Wizard. He was petrified. Now, the only reason why the other one from the other episode wasn't petrified was because she wasn't directly attacked with that sword, that knife. So they do that. And then we have another, after that fight is settled, we go into Urza's. And in Urza's fight, Max does like a thing. He does this like sand trap, almost like Gara in a way. and he traps him, and he says it doesn't matter. Cobra's saying it doesn't matter because you're going to get. I can still hear you. And even though it seemed like they were going to beat him, he just blows them away. It's like, Jesus. And he was referencing that, the only person I cared for was Kuburico, which I believe is the name of his snake. Now, what ended up happening then was Max got attacked by Cobra. He fell down. And then there's this interesting conversation between Urza and Cobra saying that, oh, you could get stronger and go and rise above your sadness. That's what he was saying. Rise above your sadness, she was saying to him. And he says, oh, that's impossible. I can't do that. And he just realized that he has a mission to do. So he leaves and says, Urza, next time we meet, so on and so forth. And we go back to what he did, and he basically attacked the group who had carried a Celestial Wizard out of harm's way and petrified the Celestial Wizard. And there's that situation. Then, I'm trying to think. I talked about Wendy, Gray, Urza. Midnight. Most important of the importance. After the bear attacked, used the sword to attack the knife, red knife, to attack the other Celestial Wizard, Midnight then was able to open the coffin, get the coffin open, and destroy the skull of Will. Now, before that happened, he had a tussle with Biska and Aljak. Unfortunately, they didn't do anything. He says, "Oh, you lack the conviction to kill me and to lose something." That's basically what he was saying about. And then the coffin opens. He gets the skull. He destroys it, and that unlocks the Infinity Clock, the real Infinity Clock. The real Infinity Clock is actually a fish. So, yeah, that was something. That was like, whoa, huge thing with chains coming out and hitting on the ground. I'm like, what's going on here? This is crazy. Now, the other thing that happened, obviously, was after they destroyed the Celestial Wizards that they needed to destroy or purify, that gave the opportunity of Natsu and Byro to team up. So when he thought, the bear thought he was going to attack Natsu, Byro was stopping his magic, and he couldn't do it. Like, he breaks his slot machine, he beats the holy hell of that bear, he falls down. And there were instances where he was just blowing the shit out of Natsu and shocking him and everything. Falls down. I think I covered more or less what's happened, bit by bit. Yeah, I think I covered bit by bit. Now comes the shocking revelation of who is the bear. Ready for this? The bear is the staff from the original Rishinseis. The guy that Brain always carried with. He supposedly now, he's coming out of it, he's like, oh, don't you have a job to do, Byro? And I'm like, what? This guy? He's like the brains of the original, Rishinseis, he's the brains behind everything, and so on and so forth. Now, here's when the real, and I think I've covered everything, didn't I? I think I've covered more or less what happened, bit by bit. While this is going on, by the way, everywhere else, everyone's seeing what's going on, and they realize this is happening, and I believe it's Gauderman, he says, we won. He says it to Gajil and Juvia. And also we see that Samuel, he had a fight with Panther Lily, but decides to go off after the fight, and he loses Sammy. He leaves while they're flying. He leaves from Panther Lily and Happy to go straight to Zentopia and find out. I want to see what's going on from my own eyes. Back to Natsu's group. The staff then tells Michelle, reveal your true self! I think pretty much everyone knew. Everyone knew. I don't think this was even... I knew 2 episodes ago when Michelle was looking like down and everything. I had a feeling. Something is up here with this character. Truth be told, it is. And Lucy's trying to just say that it's not true, it's false. No. And then she says, I'm sorry, Nason. And she transforms. Not Transformers. But her eye has like this symbol on there. And it goes back to a regular eye. And she turns into this like plant thing. It looked like a plant thing. I don't know what everyone else thought of what it was. But I think it looked like a plant thing. And her power was mimicry. So we can guess what went down. Basically, it's simple. She visited the real Michelle Lobster, and she took in her DNA and used it to mimic her. And that was the story. Now, Lucy's trying to figure this whole thing out, and the entire time, and this is the only person in this episode that I have to say, what the Byro. Byro, man. I understand you got your loyalties to Zentopia, but even you should have just said, fuck this, man, I'm out of here. Fuck this, man. And he should have told his octopus to leave, and that would have been it. But no. So the staff's telling him, do what you're supposed to do, and Natsu attacks her, but Lucy says stop, and then he gets hit by Michelle. And you can't even call her Michelle anymore because she's not Michelle. So it's like, it's just one of those things. And he gets knocked down, and the staff says something because Michelle said, "Oh, do your job, Byro. Take Lucy Hartfilia. We're taking her with us." And Natsu is down, and Lucy tries to get in the way when Michelle, because Michelle was going to kill Natsu. She hits her with a sword hilt, and that's how it ends there. And then we got Elfman on the card, telepathically talking to that guy who's a telepath. And that's more or less where it ended. More or less. And I just saw the scenes from the next episode. Natsu's in prison. So he's not dead. Thank God. I mean, never say that happened. He's in prison with... And the only reason they're there is because of the intense situation that is going on in this filler right now, as we speak. The Jiggly Butt Gang. So next week's episode is going to see him trying to break out of prison, getting out of there, trying to rescue Lucy. 5 out of 5. And I'm not even shitting around. I'm not joking. 5 out of 5. This is the best filler arc in Fairy Tail I think I've ever seen. It has been filled with such suspense. And I want to mention something. And basically what's going to happen is he's going to try to get out of prison, Natsu. He's going to try to save Lucy. We get a scene with Lucy. Oh my God. I shit you not. Her eyes are blank. It's like... Hello! Can't see anything. She gets put on this thing. Sacrifice. And you know what that means. This filler arc has the same story as the Eclipse Plan. I'm floored with this. I'm like, whoa. And then we also see everyone else. I think we see Elfman and Lurza. They're teaming up with the archaeologists, those guys that were part of the guys that they met on the boat when they were trying to search for the clock, Lucy and Natsu. Yeah. So the whole point about the her finding the clock pieces, that was planned. This whole thing was planned. So here are my thoughts on this. Basically, are these two things. Number one, I'm not calling Michelle a bitch, but she's just, she's a traitor. You're a hoe. You're gonna die. If I was Natsu, I would have said, Lucy, fuck off. I'm punching her in the face. Boom! You shouldn't have hesitated. I'm sorry. If I was Natsu, I would beat the holy hell out of that bitch. And the next person I need to complain about, well, I'm not really complaining about Michelle. We knew she was bad. Byro. What the fuck, man? Even Samuel knew something was up. What are you doing? Oh, my allegiance is with the Archbishop. What an idiot. Byro, yeah. He's the jackass of this episode. I'm just going to call it. Byro is a jackass. Or, no, Byro is a retard. And Michelle is a traitorous imposter of a bitch. So, yeah. This is good. This is like, you know... It's so... But the thing is, it's so identical to the thing in the manga. And I'm thinking to myself, whoa. Whoa. This is insane. 5 stars all around. This is a great filler. Guys, watch it. I know fillers are... But this is really good. This is getting good. This is getting good. Check it out. Also check out my friend at Whirlpool Inc. He's reviewing this arc as well. He's starting to review the episode as well. So this is getting good. I've been with this filler arc since the beginning. And it's awesome. And if this is any precursor to what might happen with this Eclipse plan, I welcome it. I welcome it. So that, Lucy, sacrifice. We'll see what happens. It's been Bonkai 922. You gotta catch these fairy tale episodes. So good! It's so good! So yeah, I will see you guys later.